Welcome to the podcast. We're two unqualified idiots.
Who aren't qualified to speak on any of these topics.
I'm Colte.
I'm Dre.
And this is Vivid. So the topic of today is, you chose it again.
Yeah.
It was about accountability in, not accountability.
Authenticity.
Authenticity
Basically.
in a modern society. And it's really, can you really be yourself in this day and age, right?
And how to be yourself in this day and age.
So how do you, do you think you can, or you think, there's more of a filter on it?
It's definitely possible, 100%. It's just sometimes, maybe in some situations, you might have to, I wouldn't say change it, but sometimes you would have to just leave it, suppress it a little bit, just to not, flaunt, oh yeah, I'm myself, blah, 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 blah. And sometimes you may have to conform in certain situations, let's say for a job or something where you have, it's not like you want to be accepted, but it will be for the best if you're accepted. And in those situations, you should probably try and conform. But other than that, in everyday life, you man, go be yourself, bro. Nobody, you don't gotta impress nobody. Niggas not gonna do nothing.
You don't gotta impress nobody, y'all. And honestly, sometimes trying to fit in is worse than trying to be yourself, because fitting in with the wrong crowd. Alright, for y'all that don't know what he's staring at, we're going live again on my author account.
Stand up straight, Jay. My bad.
His posture.
Yeah, my posture is so ass.
Cool. Below your phone, there should be two buttons on the side of the stem. Hold them together and hold it up. I gotta teach these kids how
Mind you, I'm older than him.
nowadays.
I'm older than him. Alright, so...
You know me. Okay, you know.
You had anything you want to say about it first before we start?
I'm gonna get to that first real quick.
GG Sticks back at it.
Alright, so I'm starting something on the podcast called The Book of the Week. Alright, so the book of the week today is going to be my second favorite dark romance, and that is My Dark Romeo by ParkerShuntington and L.J. Shen. This is also this is a forced proximity type of romance.
What does that mean?
It means they're forced to be next to each other on some.
So at first they don't really like each other or something?
They don't too, as well. Yeah. Also, I love this little, because it's based off of Romeo and Juliet, obviously, and quoted from Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, thus with a kiss I die. It's fire.
What's that little, because I seen in the other book where it had that little, it was a picture in the other one.
Oh, yeah.
What are those called?
That's not in all books.
No, not the, are you talking about that little aspect? Because I don't mean a picture. I just mean how it has that little thing before.
That's called the dedication.
Okay.
Yeah. Does this one have any trigger warnings? This one doesn't have any trigger warnings,
but
we're
not gonna put them through a long list.
But this one does include torture, death, gore, a lot of smut for y'all who are into smut. I know I am. Staring at me. This is My Dark Romeo by ParkerShuntington and L.J. Shen. I give this honestly a 4.5 star rating out of 5. So
I see you got the little notes there.
Look at the little notes. Yeah, you want to know what they mean?
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. The red is smut, obviously. A lot of smut.
Yeah, it's a lot of red. Red flags, bro.
It's a lot of red flags, and then the blue, which is only one blue. That's that's just sentimental quotes. Right.
So all that smut, and they got one sentimental quote.
No, then this one, the sentimental quote is, "Hate is a more powerful drive than love," which is true in some aspects.
Yes, because haters be going strong for you. They be loving you more than the niggas who love you.
Another thing I love about this book is the bickering between the fan group in this one. I think they also host a podcast in this one.
Oh damn, we like them.
Oh no, that's a different book. But yeah, anyways, My Dark Romeo, you're gonna love this book, and you can get this at my shop for $17.99. All right. What I think about authenticity, right, in the modern society, I believe that really you can't be fully authentic around just everybody. You have to be authentic around a certain crowd.
People hate or don't like things they don't understand.
Yeah, because people fear what they don't know.
Exactly.
Also, so, and that's in the 48 laws. But I just read that law today. I'm on law 39 right now. I'm on law 39 right now. But in law 38,
Does it have a bunch of Does it have a chapter dedicated to one law?
Yeah, there's 48 chapters for the 48 laws. Yeah, so law 38 is think as you like, but behave like others. And that means, because he goes into more depth with it, obviously, that means behave like yourself around the crowd that, you trust and they share some of the same like-mindedness as you do. But behave like others in a crowd so that you still have the ability to think the way you want without being shunned for it or confined for it.
Yeah, I feel you.
There was a story in this one, I can't remember it correctly, but it was it was an atheist, right? He was really into sharing his atheism, why he didn't believe there was no heaven, no hell, and he got imprisoned for it. Back in those times, you got imprisoned for it.
They'll kill you for that.
For a whole year, he was tortured, and they just did a lot of illegal things to him behind bars, right? And eventually, he had pleaded insanity, he wasn't in his right mind when he was saying that. So that's how he got released from prison. And then he was smart because he still wanted to share his aspect of atheism.
What he believed in. Oh, I thought you said he got killed.
He got imprisoned.
In prison.
So what he did was he wrote a book about atheism.
If y'all can hear that, my bad. This shit doing backflips.
Hey, he did say he took a
I got a shrimp burrito from Talking Taco.
Bro, that's not you was talking Taco. I don't know why you invite me.
My bad. You asleep, nigga?
So what he did, because he was really into sharing his view on atheism. So what he did to really mess with people's heads is that he came out with a book about atheism. But
he kept his identity secret?
No.
Okay.
No. But what he did was he had pretended to be more pro with the other side against atheism, but he made their argument really weak. Right? He made it sound like the other side, Christianity, was like the author wasn't even talking much about it, and just made terrible points and all that.
I know that got people said.
Yeah, but then when he would do one paragraph dedicated to if I was seeing this from the other point of view, and then he would dive deep into those and make amazing points. And when that book came out,
keep going,
and when that book came out, nobody could say a single thing to him because he was on the other side of. He was on Christianity, he was on the other side. So he appeared that way to others and blended in with the crowd. So that he was still able to share his view with, in a hidden way.
Yeah, so
right?
Nobody could really penalize him for it.
So that's what that really meant.
What's his name?
Blend in with others. I don't remember his name. It'll probably take a while to find it in there.
It was a true story, or it's just
no. Everything in here are true historical stories, right? They mentioned the sun god, Shen.
Cultures in it.
Well, no, it's all different cultures. They have a Japanese culture. That's Chinese, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not Chinese.
Everything in here is really historical, and I would also really recommend this book, The 48 Laws by Robert Greene, which you can also get at my store, darkdesires.com. This book right here is $26 on my site, and if you use my promo code Dark Romance 1, I almost forgot it. Dark Romance 1, you get 5% off, and if you get the collection of Robert Greene, which includes this book here, they are all 50% off. So this collection at the moment you can get for $50, which is the discounted price compared to $100 for all of them. That's what he meant by really behave like others, but really think. To
like
yourself, like yourself, just with a certain crowd, so that you can keep the ability to think like yourself.
So conform, but not at the expense of your own personality and authenticity.
Basically, yeah.
That's a good. I think that's a good.
And you know, obviously it's different now in new times, but it does still
not gonna really
apply.
Kill you for that.
Yeah, they're not gonna kill you for it.
Just drag you on Twitter.
But yeah, obviously there's a lot of things different now. Yo, if you tune in into the live, you will see this man's fat forehead just always zooming into the.
I'm being myself, I'm authentic.
Green kiss marks on that?
Yeah, you want to add another one? Kevin, edit that out.
No,
hey guys,
don't.
The pressure to conform, how social media and societal expectations shape our identities. Alright, so with that, I feel like social media plays a huge role, just like with a bunch of other things. Yo, social media will really make or break. It could really make or break how you go about being yourself, and if you even are going to be yourself.
Because again, cancel culture.
That's the whole thing.
You're filtered by a lot of the things you say. You barely, like they say, we have free speech, but we don't have.
We really don't. You have free speech, but with consequences. But also, that's one thing. That's another factor. And then another one is with social media. You see a bunch of different people on social media doing this and that, and everybody's trying to hop on the trend. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say being on a trend is bad, but to a certain extent, it does somewhat, even subconsciously, you may not even know it does like somehow affect you in some like certain sort of way. It can affect others more than it probably affects you. It could affect them less than it affects you. For example, I'm trying to think of one. Like, I don't know why, but everybody seems like as though they have to just be a fashion demon. And I'm gonna say that.
Fashion demon? What do we mean about?
Okay, I'm gonna say because I started dressing differently, and social media did affect that. But I don't sit here and try and like stunt and try and do this, buy the new pieces of clothing to try to be hard. But I'll get into it because I've seen something like that on social media. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Let me. But a lot of people don't do it because of that. A lot of people do it just to say, oh, they're a fashion demon.
No, man, dressing is just a whole different thing. People will pay about $800 for like a ugly giant just like green fluffy sweater. But they bought it because it's designer.
Are you talking about fucking Marnie? Marnie, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But
bro, $800 for that ugly.
It's stuff like that.
It's designer.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. People try buying certain stuff like that because it has a certain brand on it. When in actuality, it really doesn't matter. If it didn't cost that much, you wouldn't care about it. It's just like a whole popularity game.
If it didn't have that brand behind it, like Gucci, Chanel, Dior, if it didn't have those brands behind it, you wouldn't even think to buy it.
Tira says she agreed. And that's not to say you can't buy stuff like that. You could buy it, but buy it in a sense that you genuinely like it.
Nigga, look here.
Huh?
Look there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was looking at the... You're weird. You gotta stop. Basically, I'm saying that's not to say don't buy this stuff because it's just bad as a designer. Like I said, who cares? If you really want to, that's really you. Go ahead, buy to your heart's desire. You could go wear it. But don't buy it just so you can say, yeah, I have a piece of design and I'm this and that. Because then that's when you're conforming to society and you're just playing into the whole fucking rat race game of, oh yeah, I seem more successful and more on top of it than
I have designer and all that.
Exactly.
But really, it really is the other way around. You look more successful. You really attract more success when you are wearing non-branded items. Really.
I think so. I think so.
And I talked about this in my first solo video. I called it the habits of success. You could tune into that one. One of the tips I gave for getting onto the road of success is to dress elegantly or dress timeless. And what that really means is you can, because this happened with me a lot going into business meetings. Yeah, me, I'm young, so I'm already at a disadvantage just being a young entrepreneur. People aren't going to take you serious. So going into there, even dressing my age, for example, with designer, going in with hoodies, sweats, skinny jeans, dude, being a young entrepreneur, already being young and then dressing young will just diminish your respect.
You really just don't feed into the stereotype.
It'll keep on diminishing your respect. And I always tell people you could be competing with like a 30-40-year-old grown man, and you could be 17, 18, 19, and you're dressed in like a suit pants, some chinos, a nice belt, right? And he's over in like a fucking designer Gucci sweaters, some like ugly Gucci sweatpants.
He's talking about the what's it called? The pieces, the matching pieces.
Yeah,
track suits and all that.
those track suits, right? You automatically people are going to look to you as the more mature individual. They're going to respect the one who is dressed more elegantly and more suited over the one who is dressing with designer. Because one, it shows a sort of a humbleness dressing elegantly. Because dressing a designer already,
it just seems like you're flaunting.
Yeah,
that you have it.
You're telling people, oh, I'm better, oh, I have more money. But really dressing elegantly, you're more humble, and people take that with more respect.
And that might not even be the message you're trying to get across, though. That's a crazy thing, too. But that's not to say, like, he's going to say something and then I'm going to further explain it, because I don't want people to think we're coming after them. That's not to say...
No, I'd be coming after people for real.
Yeah, but I'm going to dumb it down, because that's not to say that you can't...
We stand behind that.
We do, yeah, because I don't want people to come... The last thing I want is somebody in my DMs talking about, nigga, fuck you. But my whole thing is like, that's not to say you can't wear designer. Go ahead and wear it, but just know the type of image you have coming across. And the same thing with people who dress head to toe in it. Like, you just seem like you just want to show off that you have it. Even if that's not what you're trying to do, that's the message you're relaying to people. So, even with me, sometimes I dress regular, sweats, hoodies. Sometimes I put a little bit of effort. Like, I'll probably throw jeans. I have jorts that I wear sometimes.
I hate shorts. I'm sorry, I hate you.
I used to be like that, but then I'm like, I just like switching it up. I'm a person, I switch it up.
I like to switch it up, but me, like I switch it up really. I prefer to dress in like suits, dress shirts, polo shirts and all that. But, you know, every now and then I want to chill. So
Definitely.
I'll put on a t-shirt, maybe some like gray sweatpants. Just
exactly. Everybody has their own little style, but you could, like, he dresses because, like you said, he wants to. He wants people, like, in certain settings, you want people to take you seriously.
Correct, yeah.
You want to seem mature because you're trying to grow with yourself. You're a direct reflection of that. So if people take you seriously, they're going to take your work seriously.
Because you are the brand. Showing off yourself is how people are going to think of your business and just you as a person. So
exactly.
if you look stupid and unserious, people are going to take you and what you do stupid and not serious.
Yeah. And basically, ultimately, how you dress is also a direct reflection of you. But at the end of the day, like we said, if that's who you are, go and do it. We could sit here and say, oh, you just bad, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, who are we? You don't gotta listen. You could take it. You cannot take it. It's really a different perspective.
And you can definitely tell a lot just by somebody's wearing. Like for him right now, I can tell it's like a easy going shit and a chill day. So you just want to be comfortable for real. So he had to dress in a beanie shirt, what's that, track pants?
Yeah, track pants.
Yeah.
This is where I say I like to switch it up. Because before when you knew me, I never used to wear shit like this. But I'm not doing anything crazy. So
you're just trying to chill.
Exactly.
You're comfortable. You're like mellow right now. You like
exactly. Yeah.
You know you watch Cars, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
You know like the van.
Yeah. He showed out. He's like a hippie van.
Yeah, like a hippie van.
I forgot his name though. That nigga was smooth and lucky. So, you know, I don't like to say it, but I feel like I'm a relaxed person. I'm not gonna sit here and try to be like I'm nonchalant.
You're not nonchalant.
I'm not.
But
I hate that word.
But like you're a chill person. Like you're easy to vibe with. You're not gonna diminish somebody for no reason.
Barely anyone has problems with me. I feel like I'm a really easy person because I don't like arguing with people, and I don't like ignorant people either. People who just see from one perspective. If you
I can be ignorant at times.
You can.
I can be ignorant.
I probably am ignorant at times. I try not to be.
Yeah, but then later on I can acknowledge it and then I can apologize.
That's what matters. As long as you're able to catch yourself on it. People who swear that they're never wrong are the worst people to be around.
That's called
narcissism.
Exactly. And I am to some extent, but
in a good way. In a good way. You're not gonna like sit here and try and tear somebody down.
No, I'm not gonna do that because really you you show some respect to my values, I'll show the same
It's a mutual
respect to
thing.
your values. It's a mutual thing. So
Yeah, I feel you. All right, the second topic. Let me read it.
do we even really sit and talk about the first time?
We did. We
What
first
was it?
started with social media, and then
Okay,
we
yeah,
went from
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
We don't have to sit on it, but
Yeah, and also how you present yourself on social media, because again, that is one of the biggest choices for advertising and branding. Social media, that's how everything gets across nowadays. So really, as your social media also is a part of your reputation, and you should guard your reputation with your life, because
Yeah.
that's what people
that
rely
shit
on.
follows you.
Yeah, and again, that's also in the 48 laws.
Or rules or law. My bad.
I mean, it's really guard your reputation. You can talk, and I'll look for it.
All right. Authenticity versus perfection, embracing flaws and imperfections in a curated world. Okay, so I'm pretty sure what this means. Yeah. So basically, we all have imperfections. You know, that's a given. No one's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. And if you think you're perfect, that's an imperfection right there. Like we just said, you may be a narcissist. You can take your imperfections and turn them into something you like, and you acknowledge in a way that you love, right? You could take your imperfections and then perfect them. You could think they're perfect, like you could see them as perfect, but at first it starts with acknowledging that you're imperfect. I have insecurities, you have insecurities. Even little things that we're not comfortable with ourselves, that there's really no problem, because everybody has that little thing or a couple
Wow,
of
it
things.
was on the first page. This is law 5. It says, so much depends on your reputation guarded with your life. Right? And here's the description for it. Reputation is the cornerstone of power. Through a reputation alone, you can intimidate and win. Once it slips, however, you are vulnerable and will be attacked on all sides. Make your reputation unassailable. Always be alert to potential attacks and thwart them before they happen. Meanwhile, learn to destroy your enemy by opening holes in their own reputations. Then stand aside and let public opinion hang them. This is a really dark.
That was a banger. No, it's not, because you know when they do like poetry, they do snaps.
Oh yeah. I mean, I do snaps instead of clapping. I'm always like. Yeah.
So you're sassy.
I said sassy because you said.
I didn't do it like this. I did like banger. If I did this, that would have been crazy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So really, guard it with your life, and if you really want to hurt somebody, go for their reputation. Because at that point, once, like you said. Once, like I said, there are holes in their reputation, and there's something for people to attack them for. As soon as you do your tiny part, which is put holes into their reputation,
Society's going to do the rest.
Society's going to do all the work for you.
Because that's how it is now.
That's just how it is. Your reputation is your life.
It is.
Guard
bro.
it.
But like I was saying, it said authenticity versus perfection, embracing flaws and imperfections in a curated world. We all have, like I said, we all have imperfections, but that's not to say you're imperfect, so you're lesser than anybody or this or that, or you have to change. You can change for yourself for the better, but I don't think people should change themselves because they think society wouldn't accept them or society would deem them as less.
The perception of perfection is a good and a bad thing.
And a bad thing.
I see the bad because, like, showing out there that you're this perfect person, people get envious. And with envy comes greed. And with greed causes unwanted trouble that you don't want.
You also get a flaring ego.
Yeah, you
which
also
is
get a
bad.
flaring ego.
I hate egos. But also, what did you just say? Okay, with the bad side of perfection. Or the good side. The good side, should I start with good or bad?
Start with the good, because I don't see a good side really.
Okay, so the good thing about the perception of perfection, you can aim to be perfect, and not in the sense where like you're just this almighty being, you're an entity of greatness, like you're not the Messiah, bro. But I'm saying in the sense where you aim to make yourself better because you're trying to perfect, let's say perfect your craft.
Yeah,
there's
people that don't think they have to work on anything, and they're stupid and foolish.
You are.
You really give the respect and the credit to the people who are constantly trying to better themselves.
Basically, because you basically, how people set the bar. You set the underbar.
You set the underbar.
But the bad side of perception of perfection is when you're aiming to be,
or just thinking you're perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you said that one, but the other one is just aiming to be perfect in a sense where you nitpick at every little thing to the point where you cannot
also
function.
aiming to be perfect. All right, there's the good side to social media, but there's also the very bad side to social media, and that's because on social media, everybody seems perfect.
Exactly. I hate that.
Everybody seems perfect, dude.
That.
You trying to aim for perfection is going to ruin your mind. It's going to ruin your own self-esteem. You're not gonna feel like you're enough because you're comparing yourself to all these.
Exclusive Kid 225 said, "Yo, do I know what that is?"
So yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
Social media. Everybody trying to seem perfect on social media.
Yeah, dude, they're not perfect, and you trying to compare yourself to them, you're only going to mess yourself
Comparison
up.
is the thief of joy, bro. I
It
live by
really
that.
is.
That shit is
That's
crazy.
also the same thing in gyms. I saw a post a while ago, but it's also really, really true. You can always compare yourself to the person that looks better than you, but look at you now and
Look at you from the
look at
past.
you when you first started.
Exactly. The
You made
whole
so much
goal,
progress.
Exactly. The whole goal is to be better. It's not to be better than the next guy. It's to be better
than yourself.
from the past or from the day before.
Be better tomorrow than
A better
how you were
version of
today.
yourself. And that's another thing I was talking about with the good side of perception of perfection is like, all right, so I was saying that you want to perfect what you're good at. The goal isn't to be the perfect person or be perfect. The goal is to perfect yourself. Like, and when I say yourself, perfect being yourself. Perfect what you like to do. Aspects of yourself. Don't go and try to make yourself perfect because you can't do that. It's genuinely impossible.
God did not make it that way.
I've seen people try and I've seen people fail. You can't tell me anyone on this earth who is perfect right now. Everybody has something.
Everybody has a flaw.
Everybody has
and
something.
if you think you don't look deep,
You gotta look. You're not digging deep enough.
You're not
bro.
digging deep enough. You're only scratching the surface.
For example, Gigi stinks. I'm sorry, Gigi. You think she's gonna see this?
Actually, she did see it because she liked the
Are you dead? Gigi, I'm sorry. But like I said, now, but even her, she probably has some flaws. But you can't. What can you do about it? But work on it to the extent where you're comfortable with yourself, not to the extent where society is comfortable with it.
I don't think the point is to get to a point where you seem perfect. I think you are doing extremely well if you just get to a point where you are reliable.
Where you're in what sense?
Where you can rely on yourself
Okay.
to get you out of any situation. Where other people can also rely on you when things get bad. For example, in relationships, a woman is not going to want to be with you if you can't take care of business.
Yeah.
Right? You have to be reliable in a sense where you can handle your shit, and then if you are with a woman, also handle her shit. She's trusting you with her love, and that comes with everything with it.
Yeah.
Right. So, and she comes with baggage. She comes with the past. She could also come with enemies, and she's choosing to rely on you to just take care of your business and her business. And since you guys are together, it becomes one. Right.
That's some Dragon Ball Z shit.
Business is business, so take care of it. And when you get to a point where you are reliable, I think honestly you're already at a good standard in life.
Yeah. Whether it be yourself, you rely on yourself, others rely on you. So it's a good trait to have.
Oh yeah.
But all right, I'm gonna skip the third one because it said the role of social media and navigating between self-expression.
Yeah, we
We
talked
already
about
said
that enough. Yeah.
All right, so okay, we're gonna hit 4 or 5. So 4 is self-acceptance, learning to love and embrace your true self. That's the biggest thing. This all starts with loving yourself. If you do not love who you are, even if you don't like who you are, you can't expect to reach a point where you'll be comfortable with yourself, or will society will be comfortable with you? Because it all starts with you. If you don't love yourself, how can you expect someone else to love yourself? And even if they do love yourself, it's not a real version of yourself. It can't be, because if you don't love yourself, you're not being yourself. You're not. And that's a lot of things. Like,
if you hate yourself, you're going to pretend to be someone.
You're going to pretend to be somebody
different. People are going to hate you for that more.
Exactly, because the one thing people hate. One thing people hate more than you being yourself is you. Exactly, you try not to be yourself. So you can't please society. You can't.
You can. They're always gonna nitpick something.
They're going to anything, bro. Except for Donald Trump, like they love him.
Yeah, people have different views on that. Obviously, we're on 4 right now, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
That boy tried to change the topic. You got good PR training.
And self-acceptance also goes again with relationships. If you can't love somebody else without being in love with yourself first. Honestly, your first love should be yourself, but not in like an egotistical way. Just so you can put that love and that confidence into yourself.
Yeah,
really.
Because you're in your life, you're a priority. You're who matters, and that's not selfish. You're not. That's not selfish because it's your life. No one at the end of the day is going to be you.
It's selfish if you only carry yourself in that way and you just do not change it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's when it becomes selfish. It becomes selfish when you're just pushing everybody else's needs away and only focusing on you. Where yes, you do need to do that for a time because honestly,
to figure out like who you are.
Yeah, and also that is how a lot of people built themselves from nothing to something. They had to push away everybody else's needs and focus on their own, and they got to that point. That, sure, you can be selfish doing that, but that's a good type of selfish. Really, it becomes a bad selfish if you don't change it. If you stay pushing everybody else's needs away and only focus on you, everybody's gonna hate you.
I feel like in a way that could also be seen as being selfless, because if you're selfish for a period of time to work on yourself and make yourself better, you're ultimately making yourself the best version of who you are and who you can be, and that's what you want to give out to people.
Yeah, I say selfish because people
like deem it as selfish.
Yeah, like seeing in from the outside in, they're gonna see it as that you're being selfish, but in reality, you're trying to become a better person.
I understand. Yeah, hopefully you guys do too. I feel like we've been conveying this really well. We're getting better at this.
You need to accept yourself in every way, and if you don't like yourself, because I'm not saying accept every part about you, because there are bad parts about you.
Yeah, that there's parts that you'll always think about. But
and also self-acceptance is also catching yourself with these terrible habits, with just these things that have to change, and working and striving to change those things for the better. That is also a form of self-acceptance.
Yeah,
because you can accept that you're doing this terrible thing. This is bad for you, and then you can also work so that you can change that and better that for yourself.
Yeah. And don't take this as we got it all figured out. We don't. We're young.
You don't.
I'm just trying to help you out. Like, we are, bro. I'm not a wise man. By no means. I'm not.
Well, not all the time.
Like too unqualified, bro. I don't gotta keep saying it. Subtopic 5. The fear of rejection, overcoming the anxiety of being judged for who you really are. It's a big one. Because people like the judgment, they never gonna stop.
They're never gonna stop.
I'm guilty of it too.
Because there's gonna be haters everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna hate you. Like you.
And let me say it like this, because this is one thing I talk about a lot. Even with my friends, you could take hating, but to a certain extent. And I say hating very lightly. So what I mean by that is, let's say you want to give somebody a piece of advice, or you see something they can work on with themselves. You can hate, and by hate I mean really just tell them about it. You could be like, bro, why do you always do that? You know you could do this. You can hate if it's for the better of somebody. And when I say hate, don't get it confused.
That's not really hate.
It's not, but I say hate because people take it as hate.
Because if you're really a true friend, like you would call them out on their bullshit. Like I call you out on your bullshit. Like,
I do the same thing with him. We go back and forth. When I say hate, like me and my friends, we have this and we be like, you hating. Like we say something, but we know we're joking.
Yeah, we know we're joking. Because again, those are true friends.
Yeah. But then we're not joking in the sense where we're really telling them something. We'll just say, yeah, you hating as a joke. But
but we know.
Yeah.
There's an understanding, like a little dividend between the joking and we're being serious, but we're not going about it in a way to make you feel bad.
As long as you can tell the difference between the nuance, like of hating and actually like giving them constructive criticism. That's what I like to call it. I was trying to find it. Constructive criticism. I'll do this. Like, I think you should judge somebody in the sense where you're trying to give them constructive criticism, regardless if it is right or wrong. The fact that you're at least like making an effort, I feel like that's what matters. But you shouldn't just say like, I have a friend, right? He works on music. Shout out James. He went to your school.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So he makes music, and his music's not for everybody. That's cool. But what people like to do,
music is for everybody.
Exactly. Everybody niggas hate on Frank Ocean. I think he's one of the greatest artists.
He's amazing. Yeah.
But there's gonna be a hater.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves that song that the Rock put out.
The Rock? Oh my gosh, bro. KSI shit.
That's terrible.
Okay, my opinion on that, the song necessarily itself, because I like to say something about it and then give them credit. If I can. The song itself isn't bad, it's just corny. It's corny. The production wasn't bad, it's just a corny topic. The lyrics are corny. That's because they deem it as cringe, which by all means, it is. I was hanging on it too. I was hating on it. Like, I'll give him his credit where credit is due. The production was good. It's not like, oh my gosh, I can't listen to this song.
Hey, but I mean, you can't hate fully because yes, everybody's hating on it, but those haters and hating is giving him views and money through it.
And can you make a song? I see you put out a song. You ain't put out a song. You watching us.
So really, yeah, it was a terrible song. That's the bad, and the good is that it really was a great marketing strategy.
It was. He got y'all.
He got so much attention. He got so much money, a lot of cash from it. I'm sure.
Definitely, racks on racks. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, it's good to judge with James. He makes music. His music's not for everybody. I know that. Even sometimes I don't like some of the stuff he puts out, but I'll tell him. But instead of just saying, "Oh yeah, this is trash," blah 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 blah, I'll say it. I don't really like it, and then I'll give him a reason. You can judge him. You can judge someone or something they do. Judge, take that word lightly. You can judge someone or criticize something someone does, but the meaning of the word criticize is to give your input on it. You can't just say, you can't give your opinion. Opinion and input is two completely different things. Your opinion in this sense or in this situation can be, oh, I don't like the music. It's trash. You need to quit music. Why would you tell somebody that?
I mean, there can be a good side to that because some people feed off of that.
Exactly, it drives you, which he does. But why would you do that? You can't, because then at that point you're a dickhead. What you should do if you don't like the music, you can say, this is what I do. I'll be like, hey man, I'll say, yeah, this isn't really for me. I'll be like, I don't like this, but I'll be like, yeah, for this reason. Boom, you did this. I didn't like the way your flow was.
And they could take points from that
exactly, and make themselves better.
But see, you can't do that with everybody because
people can't take criticism.
Yeah, because some people can't take that light criticism. But if you really take it to that extent, and I'm not saying that with what they do, I could be talking about them being just a person in general, and they have this nasty bit about them. If I go about it with some people, if I go about it in the way you had just said, being coming with it nice and respectfully.
It's not even about being nice. It's just being
respectful of it.
Not even only respectful. It's about being helpful, you're constructive about it. You don't have to be nice. Niggas don't care about the niceness. They want to get better, and no one in this world can get better if everybody just shits on it and doesn't tell them what they can do to be better. That's why I don't people aren't helpful. People will just hate on you and they'll judge you
Yeah,
and they won't give you anything to work on.
Yeah, but like you can't say that like some of the people who are hating have the intent of help because
they just go about it wrong.
Yeah, because some people are really stubborn.
Yeah.
they're not going to listen. And as I was like just saying, like if you're with the person with this like really nasty bit about them, if you come at it in a nice way, sometimes they're not gonna listen.
They're not.
So sometimes like they'll just brush it off. What is this nigga talking about?
Yeah, whatever.
Right.
You know.
So sometimes to get them to like, if you care about this person enough, really, you would really call them out on their bullshit and go, "Yo, like, what the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
Awesome shit. You can be really, really harsh with them. That's how really David Goggins operates.
Yeah, I've seen this stuff.
He is a really harsh person, but
it's constructive.
Yeah, but he does it with the good intent in his heart because he's trying to see everybody get better.
Yeah, and okay, and the second part of it I like to talk about is where it says overcoming the anxiety of being judged for who you really are. Everyone's anxious. I'm always anxious, and it's in the sense that it's a human trait. Everybody, there's no one who's never anxious at any point in time. You've been anxious. I've been anxious. Yeah,
I wouldn't call me an anxious person.
You probably just want to call it something. You yourself, you probably aren't an anxious person. Not everybody's an anxious person, but everybody's been anxious.
Yeah, but there's been times where people can be anxious. There's been a couple times where I've been anxious, but like it's not something that I like struggle with. Like a lot of people are diagnosed with anxiety and they have a really bad level of it. Like every scenario, anytime they talk to a person, they get anxiety.
I'm anxious. Like I'm very anxious at times. I'm just better at not showing it. And I feel like that helps because once you show you're anxious and you can tell people know you're anxious, it makes you more anxious. And
some people will see you as weak, especially as a man. I'll say this as like because as a woman, if someone sees you anxious, like if someone
let's just take it as like a girly or feminine.
I mean no, not even. Well, yes, but. Like as a woman, if someone sees you anxious, scared, afraid, hurt, they'll come to you to tend to you for it. They're gonna try to help. But as a man, if you show that out there that you're anxious, afraid, scared, sad, hurt, then people are going to sort of prey on that in a way that they will find a way to make you feel worse about it. Because seeing a man cry in front of you, like people aren't like they're gonna think you're stupid.
Yeah, they're gonna be like you softy.
Yeah, they're gonna shame you for it. But then, as a woman crying, people are going to try to comfort her, figure out what's wrong. That's just the
double standard. But
yeah, but in a way, it is unfair that like a lot of people can see it in an unfair way. I see it as more of like a realization type of way because every man has to go through something in life, and that thing is realizing that you only have yourself.
You do. At the end of the day, when you lie down at night, regardless, even if you're next to someone, you only have yourself. No one is with you 24/7 but you. And that's another thing. Not that, but I kind of want to build on top of that. I don't know if this really connects, but it has something to do with the anxiety thing. I used to have really bad social anxiety. Sometimes it's still hard to speak to people, and that's okay, bro. That may never leave you. Really, it's just about getting better with it. You'll get better with it.
You'll get better with it. Yeah, because you can always improve on it. Some habits are going to stick with you from it.
That's what
you're not going to completely like lose it.
They're not.
Like in the future, there's going to be those like moments where you are anxious, but it's going to be better
because you know how to handle.
Yeah, you'll know how to handle it better then, and it's not going to be as bad. Who said that though?
Tira.
Oh,
yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Like for example, when I'm walking in public, oh my gosh, this is so bad. I struggled with it every day. Even today, I feel as though everyone's looking at me, or I walk weird. Like it's just little things that I nitpick at myself.
People tell me I walk weird.
You walk with the strut.
They always say like you walk like a model.
So there's nothing weird about it. They're just telling you what you know.
It's different. Yeah. It is different. And honestly, I kind of it makes me feel better when people do say that.
Mm-hmm.
But really, I know that I walk with confidence
Yeah.
that was built into me over the years.
Yeah. And I feel like everybody should have that in themselves. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
But with me, I feel as a Pat. Oh, is this good? All right. Damn, this is nice. Yeah, I feel as
They're
though.
about to see you staring at this nigga's back.
Yeah, if y'all see him staring at me, you know why. Not really because I'm pretty. In public, I be thinking I walk weird and stuff like that. Or I just think everybody's staring at me, and I try and I wouldn't say I try to act differently, but I try to remind myself it's all in my head. Because a thing I realized, and it took me a while to realize this, everybody deals with that. And even with that, you gotta realize that no one's really watching you. If they are, who cares? Because at the end of the day, you know what people
You're
are
not
about?
going to see that ever again.
No, even if you do in a setting where you do see him, but you gotta realize, I realize this, everyone, because I'm like, we're all human. We all essentially have the same thought, but it may be different little ways how we think, but we all have the same thoughts and emotions.
Emotions,
You're gonna see what I'm talking about.
Emotions, yeah,
You're gonna see what I'm talking about.
but not everybody is going to think close to you.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in a human sense, we all have the same thoughts. For example, when I'm walking, I think someone's looking at me. You never get those times where you feel as though someone's looking at you.
Oh, yeah, you're
exactly.
right. Okay.
That's what I'm talking. It's slight differences, but essentially we all have the same thoughts in a way to a certain extent. And with that being said, I realized that even when I feel like someone's always looking at me or watching me or always have eyes on me, no one really cares. You want to know why? Everybody's too worried, thinking the same thing about themselves. Everyone's in their own head thinking, oh, people are looking at me this way or that way. So that all ties back into being judged. You can't really care about when somebody judges you, not with constructive criticism, when they just judge you just to be a hater or something like that, because they're too worried about their own shit. They're judging you for a reason.
Really is just like projecting.
It is projecting. That's one thing I realized. People project a lot.
Themselves, so they portray that anger onto whoever they can.
Or they see insecurity in themselves and they're trying to cover it up or take the spotlight off that and put it on you. People like doing that. They like diverting shit. But yeah, bro. Even with you, Tara, what goes on in our head is 9 times out of 10 not what's happening in reality. Literally.
No, really.
You make false narratives in your own head.
And also, bro, I love this saying. It is a cliche saying, but I'll say it anyway. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
In what sense?
In a way that you could think of starting a business venture, or you could think of approaching somebody, or just starting anything.
Why'd you do that to me?
And you want to do it, but then you start overthinking will kill a lot of you.
I started overthinking about doing a podcast because I was like, are people gonna look at me like a weirdo who does a podcast? I don't want people to see me. I don't give a fuck with you. I don't care if you judge me. I appreciate the support, but if you judge me, it's like, it's cool. It's
we do always appreciate the input. That's great for us. So
Oh, I looked over there because of the line.
yeah. So say you want to do a bunch of these things, but then you end up thinking about it, and then you talk yourself into not doing it.
That's the worst thing you could do.
100% you fail.
And you let society and other people win.
Exactly. But if you push through it and still do whatever it is you're trying to do, you're already doing better than thousands of people in the world.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So that's why you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, because you're too afraid to do it. Anxiety.
Crazy thing, bro. I'm still battling it every day, and it'll forever be a battle. I just hope that I win in the long run. 10's a long one, so I'm gonna try and get through 8 and 9. We're gonna try and get through 8 and 9. 8 is redefining success, moving away from external validation to internal fulfillment. I think this is very pivotal when it comes to being yourself.
Or can I speak about
Go
something
ahead.
else real quick? So as of late, I went to Adobe Max, and there was this speaker. I forgot her name. I think she does videos now for celebrities, and she had
And more water.
mentioned a bit where she said how when she was first starting out, a lot of people validated her and her work. She had a lot of support, and she even said she ran off of other people's validation for what she was doing. So eventually she ends up stemming away from school. But then she goes into the workspace doing all of these things, and nobody's saying anything. Nobody's supporting her. Everybody's thinking of her as like weak, as this fragile thing because she's a woman. She said that herself. People were treating her that way because she was a woman, and she was getting no validation at all. So at some point throughout her talk, she had said how at some point she had to realize she had to validate herself and love her own work and love what she's doing, and not thrive off of what other people are thinking of her and of how other people are validating her. Because in a blink of an eye, people validating you can switch to people hating you.
Exactly, and because you fed so much off of what they said with the validation, the switch could have the same effect.
Therefore, it hurts 10 times worse
because it's negative.
Exactly.
And people like to focus on more negative than positive.
I'll probably find her Instagram and link it in the description. But those were some amazing points she had mentioned. You can't thrive off of external validation. Mm-hmm. You have to really validate yourself. Yeah. You have to think, okay, because there's a purpose to why you are doing this. You wouldn't have started it if you didn't have any purpose behind it at all. You cannot rely on other people's validation as a way to like keep you running, because that's an easy way to just go from something to nothing.
Yeah. But really quickly before I add my little 2 cents, here it says, prayer is powerful as well. God will help you steer away from certain things that you should avoid. And I agree with that. Even if you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in that, that still applies to, it can apply to you. You don't have to believe in God to pray. You really don't. It's what you take comfort in. God is comforting. That's one thing I realized. Even though growing up, I was raised in it was really strict. Like, I wouldn't say strict, but they're strong Christian believers. Like, my mom, she's strong. My whole family, they're Jamaican.
Same with me.
Yeah.
Island, Caribbean.
Yeah, it's that's what it is in general. But I'm not gonna say I believe in God, but I'm not the strongest, most, you feel me, advocating Christian out there. Yeah. But it does help to pray. I pray every night. You know, it helps me if I ever feel anxious. I pray if I ever want to need help or support, and I can't find it in myself. God
I'm one of those people where I know a lot of people will agree. At this time currently, they haven't really put thought into their own religion, into their own beliefs. They don't think of it as a priority right now. Yeah. Like me myself, I'm not sure if I believe there's a higher power, if there's a God.
And you're completely valid to think that. I don't like when people, because he let him believe what he wants to believe. When people
try to push their beliefs onto you, like, there has to be like a fine line of some respect for people who truly believe in it, the true believers, and then people who really are just confused. Because me, I'll say I'm confused in my own beliefs right now. Yeah. Because I haven't put much thought into it.
You've just been going off of what people tell you.
That too, yeah. Like, dude, ever since I was young, because again, I was also raised in a strong Christian household. Growing up, going to and from church, I always heard about people heard God, people felt God, how God changed their lives, how they would feel good in God's presence. I never felt heard. Yeah.
So
any of that. So
it's basically just like, to him, it's like, okay, I'm hearing it, but for somebody to really grasp something,
I'm hearing it, but I haven't experienced it. So from that, I'm here to like really deduce or believe and think that, is there really, like, I'm here to really like be confused about it, to doubt it. Mm-hmm. Is there really a higher power? Is there really a God?
And everybody goes through that. Everybody goes, even like with the strongest Christian believer, they'll have times where they feel as though his presence isn't there, he's not there, this and that. But I feel like all that really matters is you figuring it out for yourself.
Yeah, because you always have to. It's your own journey.
It is. You can be a strong Christian believer and be into it. But if you did it just because someone told you so, that's not authentic. It's not.
Yeah.
If you believe in him just because someone told you he's there and told you should believe in him, it's not authentic. It's not at all. And I feel like you should definitely rethink your relationship with God. And I'm not going to say act like I have the strongest relationship with God, because I don't. And that's something I think I should work on. But I know for myself, I don't want to believe in him. That's why I feel like I don't have the strongest relationship. Because it takes time for somebody to do that. Some longer than others. I think I'm taking longer. But I want to believe in him because I truly believe in him. And I know his presence is there. I got to feel it for myself. And not say feel the presence, but I got to feel where I stand. You feel me? Because I'm not saying I don't mess with God. I'm not saying this or that. I don't want people to take it out of context. I'm saying I just want to think for myself. Because the last thing I want is somebody else being in my head telling me how to think. Because they're not me. They're not. I'm me. Even though I grew up in a Christian house, even though we grew up in Christian households, even though we are taught, oh yeah, you must believe in God, this and that. You got to center your life around God. I don't want to do that because you said so. I want to do it because I believe in it, and I think that's what I should do. And I'm on my way to doing that. I definitely think it's possible. I definitely think I'll get there. I just have to go at my own pace. I don't want to rush it. But yeah, you said we were gonna go to topic 10.
Yeah, we go to topic 10.
But all right. So topic 10 is the influence of culture and upbringing, how family, society, and tradition shape our identity, and how to break free from limiting beliefs. And that ties into what I just said. Family, growing up.
I'm sorry, can you say it? My bad.
What? Oh, the thing?
Yeah.
Topic 10, the influence of culture and upbringing, how family, society, and tradition shape our identity, and how to break free from limiting beliefs.
Basically.
It basically builds on what we were just saying.
Yeah.
Growing up, you're a kid. You don't have a mind for yourself, so your parents have to do all the thinking for you.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. And the older people who you're around and people in general do the thinking for you because you don't have a mind for yourself.
Also, I will say, growing up, I didn't feel like I had a lot of freedom to talk anyway.
You don't. And that's one thing I don't like about, personally, because I'm speaking from our point of view.
Yeah.
Black or also Caribbean households, they don't let you in, even to this day. I'm not going to get too deep into
people.
it.
Yeah,
they are
know that.
To the point where I feel as though it's so limiting and suffocating that I can't think for myself. And I'm not going out saying, oh, let me do whatever. But a lot of the times if they don't like something, even if it's not bad, they'll just completely be against it just because they don't like it. And I feel like that's very detrimental in a negative way.
Define detrimental for me.
Detrimental in the sense that like it plays a big role in somebody and how they act.
That's a big boy word right there.
Because like I realize this, when you don't give your kid or even a person you have authority over the ability to have some sort of authenticity and independency. Oh, the live is still going.
It is. Right?
Okay, yeah, pause. Sorry, but if you don't give the person you have authority over the ability to have some sort of authenticity and freedom to do certain things they want to do, in the sense like if it's not bad or if it's not hurtful, like it's just something they want to do, express themselves, then in the future when it comes time for them to actually do it, they're gonna have a problem doing that. They're gonna have a problem being their own person. That's a thing I feel like a lot of black parents, because I'm speaking from my point of view, and Caribbean parents, I feel like that's a big thing that they gotta work on, because they look trying to control people and be like, you can't do this, I don't believe in this, so you can't do this, I don't like this, so you can't do it. And I feel like that's very narcissistic and self-centered in a way. And I'm not using that word lightly. I mean exactly.
Sometimes they do have the best intentions at heart, so it can also be taken as like an overprotectiveness as well.
Exactly. And like I said, I'm a big person on perspective. Before I will voice how I feel or something, I'll try to understand it from your side. And I have. I'm not going to say who I'm talking about, but someone in my family, I see from her perspective. Oh, fuck. Their perspective. They're right? Gender fluid. Gender fluid. Right? It's 2024. We could do that.
No.
Like, even then, I'll try to see their perspective first. And then when I see that and I really look through it, I come to the conclusion that it's more of a control thing. Because what I necessarily want to do isn't bad. They just don't like it. And there's nothing wrong with it. Even in the Bible, if it's a Christian belief, there's nothing wrong with it. They just don't like it, so I can't do it. And I don't try to be rebellious or nothing like that, because that's not my whole purpose. Or I'm not trying to fight or argue against somebody. I just want to be myself. And saying that in the sense of, if I want to like do something and there's nothing wrong with it, I feel like I should have the human right, the freedom to go and do it, because I'm my own person. And
but at the end of the day, you are still under their roof, so you have to
let it happen
by their rules. And it is also a respect thing.
It is to an extent. To an extent,
they raised you. They had protected you for this long. They had provided you for this long. The least you can do is listen to a couple points that they're saying without questioning it.
And I do,
even if you don't think it's right.
That's exactly what I said, because I know for a fact that at the end of the day, their word is over mine, and I don't listen to them just because of that. I listen to them because I'm like, I'm entitled to my opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm gonna respect your opinion. But when I don't respect your opinion is when you don't respect me or my opinion, because I'm big on respect. You cannot respect someone or disrespect someone who doesn't disrespect you. Because if they disrespect you, I think it's just you respecting yourself.
I get that with other people, but to me, with your parents, you guys aren't equal.
We're not.
Yeah, she's the parent or he's the parent, and
there's no she.
They're showing this type of attitude or this type of just.
I understand. I understand, and that's why I give them that's why I to a certain point I just stop and I let it go, because I know you've done all this for me. You're so and so. You have it. You got it.
Yeah, but they're able to do that because again, you guys aren't equal.
It does, but to a certain extent, and there crosses a line. I can't go deep into it, but if you knew context, you'd understand what I'm saying. But to a certain extent, and there's a certain line. Even though you've done all this and that for me, I'm getting to the age where I'm growing older. I'm gonna have to start thinking for myself.
You're like 18 to 20 and you're doing your own thing, you're thinking for yourself, you have your own responsibilities.
September 5th, 2006. That's all I gotta say. They know what that means. I'm not saying I'm macho and I'm like a big man, but I'm saying I'm getting to that point where you gotta let me think for myself.
Yeah, so wait, did you just say your birthday?
Yeah.
It's like once you get to the point where like you have responsibilities, you are starting to deal with some of the things that they've had to deal with so many years. Then you're like beginning to be on that type of level, and the respect has to be mutual.
That's what I'm saying. And you don't even have to be old. I get the respect thing, but I feel like it's very one-sided. Like when they say respect your elders. Yes, respect your elders. Listen, do this and that. But what they like to do is they like to let a lot of shit slide because they're the elder.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
have to listen. Yeah. I go by the respect.
That's what I'm saying.
Elders, because yes, a lot of the times that they do like get crazy. They do get disrespectful. They are saying things that I don't agree with, but I sit there and sometimes I just nod and say yes, okay, you're right.
I'll filter. That's what I'll filter. But that's what they like to do.
That respect.
They like to play the I'm the adult card. You gotta respect me. Blah blah blah. I don't. This is what a lot of people. This is one thing I don't like. They feel as though that they're the adult or they did this or that for you that you have to respect you. Yo, I'm my own person at the end of the day. I gotta first prioritize you feel me, like myself first. So of course, and I'm thinking from my point of view, so of course I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I'm gonna want to voice my opinion, do this and that, but I don't like how they try and like belittle you just because they're the adult. And yes, you have an authority over me, but I don't have to give you respect because you're an adult. I hate how people say that. You don't have to give nobody respect. You don't have to. Respect isn't just something you get. It's something you have to earn, in the sense that you have to respect me.
I feel like with parents, they just get it unless
get my respect
unless they do something that would strip that away.
That let me say that
from example, a father leaving. Sure, like as when they're born and going on, they have your respect, but once they leave, all that respect is gone.
Yeah.
So and then in a lot of instances they come back and they would expect that same respect, but you had it and you lost it.
And that's extreme cases. But I'm saying, all right, let me reword that because you do have a point. Automatically, like if you're an authority or a family member of mine, you get my respect. Yeah. But you can always lose my respect, and that's not disrespectful for me to say you lost my respect.
No, it's not.
Because I still appreciate you and what you do. But if you can't respect me, I'm not gonna respect you.
Yeah,
it's just a human trait.
Love and my respect can be separate. It can you can love somebody, but you can also have no respect for them. Yes, I love you, but you are disrespecting me.
I feel
this way. I feel disrespected, and you are continuously doing it. You just don't have my respect anymore.
And they would take that as disrespect. And that's
they would take that as disrespect.
And at that moment in time, I said what I said, and I'm gonna leave it at that. If you take it that way, take it how you want to. I wasn't disrespectful about it. I just voiced my opinion. I'm allowed to do that. I didn't use any bad words. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't do this or that. So if you take that as disrespect, you got to look at something with yourself, right? Because like I said, I'll judge you, but I'll give you constructive criticism. I'll acknowledge you. I'll give you credit, and then I'll tell you where I think, because it's my belief, where I think you're wrong. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but like I said, you don't have to respect anybody.
Let's try to end it. Go on.
Oh yeah. But yeah, y'all get the point. But Tira said, this might be off topic, but just because a parent has done a lot for you, that doesn't change the fact that all of that overrides how they treat you mentally. It doesn't mean all of that she corrected herself. But I agree. And with that, I feel like they said I did this and that for you.
Oh, you could say louder what she said,
she said, this might be off topic, but just because a parent has done a lot for you, that doesn't mean all of that overrides how they treat you mentally. And I agree with that.
It doesn't justify it. Yeah,
it doesn't justify it. And I say like this, like how you say they do a lot for you. Mm-hmm. Yes, you do. And I appreciate that. I never want them to think that I don't appreciate it. I always appreciate you. You got me here. You helped make me who I am. I always love them and give them their credit for that, because I couldn't be here without you. But they like to hold it. What parents like to do is hold it over you.
They like to hold it over your head, yeah.
That, you brought me into this world. I didn't make that choice. I'm not saying I don't appreciate it, but you can't be like, oh yeah, I did this for you. You can't hold something over me that I didn't ask you for.
You thought the next step in your life was a child. So you
did it. So it was your duty as a parent to do what you have to do. And I respect you for doing it. I always love that. But you can't hold it over my head and say, oh yeah, I did this for you. In that sense, like, let's say you're being disrespectful, then yeah, you can say that. But if I'm just voicing how I feel about myself,
if I'm trying to talk to you and share my opinion in a very respectful way, for you to come at me with disrespect is wrong.
Exactly. And then that's when it's like, okay, you did this and that, but you were supposed to do that. That they always take it as like a charity.
They have a response. It's the same thing with a dog.
Yeah.
You have a responsibility to it.